In 1933, American writer James Hilton published the novel Lost Horizon, about a handful of British travelers who unexpectedly came upon an isolated eastern kingdom surrounded with snow-capped mountains, waterfalls, and glaciers. It was like a wonderland where herds of cattle and horses roamed freely. People of different faiths lived harmoniously, and exotic flowers bloomed. The British travelers received a warm welcome to this wonderful place called Shangri-La. Shangri-La is the hometown of the 35-year-old Tibetan Nima Lamu, who has served for 12 years as village mailwoman in Diqing Prefecture of southwest China's Yunnan province. Shangri-La in Tibetan means the sun and the moon in one's heart, and the Tibetan name Nima Lamu means fairy of the sun. Nima Lamu is indeed a beautiful fairy in local people's eyes. Surrounded by steep mountains and canyons, Shangri-La is situated in the Hengduan Mountains on the southeast fringe of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, where three rivers flow side by side. The altitude in this area varies from 1,000 to 4,500 meters. Deqin County, where Nima Lamu works, lies at the foot of the Snow Mountains, where transport conditions are particularly bad, as many villagers are located in mountain valleys. Letters and parcels must be delivered on foot. Nima Lamu has three postal routes. The first is a hike along the Lansung River, passing through the zigzagging Moon Bay Canyon to Mingyang Village. A round trip takes 4 to 6 days. The second is a 3-day hike over the snow mountains above the 4,500-meter snow line, which starts from the entrance of Moon Bay Canyon and ends at Yubong Village. The third is a hike along a 10-kilometer mountain road from the 2,400-meter altitude Yunling Township government to the 4,000-meter altitude Hongpo Village. After delivering mail to 2 villages at the same altitude, Nima Lamu takes a 13-kilometer walk along the 1,900-meter altitude Lansung River Valley and slides along the overhead ropeway to the 3 villages on the opposite side. Nima Lamu's entire postal route thus covers around 350 kilometers and serves more than 5,400 people living in a 960 square kilometer area. The mail bags she carries under these arduous conditions weigh at least 15 kilograms. On all 3 routes, she experiences both sub-zero and extremely hot weather within a single day. Although she feels faint and can hear ringing in her ears from oxygen deprivation when she climbs in the snow mountains from the bottom of the Lansung River Valley, she seldom stops for a rest. If she did, her sweat-drenched clothes would turn icy cold and cling to her. The terrain severely affects the local climate, as described in the saying, A mountain has 4 seasons. Different weather appears every 5 kilometers. A clear sky can suddenly darken with snow and rain clouds. So every day before departure, Nima Lamu packs 3 sheets of plastic to protect the mail. If it starts to rain, she first wraps the letters and parcels before taking shelter. She often slips and soils her uniform on the steep, icy mountain roads. An overhead ropeway is the sole means a mail deliverer has of crossing a river. A steel rope with a pulley links the 2 banks, one end high and the other low. In the past, mail deliverers had to use the ropeway to reach villages on the opposite side, which was extremely dangerous, especially on rainy days. Rainwater acts as a lubricant and affects the brakes. Nima Lamu has often had to bump hard against the cliff while carrying heavy mail bags to stop. Nima must also be aware of falling rocks, landslides, or even mudslides when walking her routes. And also the occasional wild animal or Tibetan mastiff, a kind of hound raised by the locals. Nima Lamu's longest delivery route is more than 80 kilometers, and a round trip takes her 4 to 5 days. She must also carry her meals as well as 2 heavy mail bags. To ease the burden, she brings a small package of samba or flapjacks and drinks rivulet water. At night, she rests in local villages. Hospitable villagers are always happy to invite Nima Lamu to spend a night in their house. They offer her a place near the fire to keep warm. According to local custom, she is always accorded the highest courtesy when entering their homes. Since 2008, when the economy developed and transportation conditions were better than ever before, many Tibetan townships have built roads and bridges. A deliverer of mail, however, seldom drives a car on mountain roads because hiking is faster, which is why Nima Lamu still walks her postal routes. Despite hard weather conditions, Nima Lamu is always clear-eyed and smiling. These so-called postal routes include abrupt 60 to 70 degree slopes of loose stones and gravel. The higher one climbs, the steeper the mountain becomes. As the mountainside is so sheer, you can only see Nima Lamu's legs and mail bags. The mountains have seriously weathered. Treading on gravel makes climbing just 1 meter incredibly difficult. There are in China 16,000 mail persons like Nima Lamu who faithfully carry out the universal postal service, day after day, year in, year out.